Let's just jump right into it. Let's not waste no time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made in Chafford podcast episode 71. You dig?
You dig, you dig.
71. You made it. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. The road to 100, I guess, now. You can actually see it in the distance. It'll be at some point this year.
Yeah, God
Mhm.
willing, man. We're on the right track. We're on the right path.
Mm.
Let's keep going.
So,
Keep the
yeah,
ball rolling.
have to keep going. Exciting times. Or not very exciting times. But when we get to 100, it'll be exciting times. And hopefully we'll be allowed outside them times. So we'll see. But anyway, I digress. Where's introduce yourself?
Yes, man. Don Corleone this week. That's all. No more aliases. I'm gonna pick one a week, and this week is Don Corleone. So nice to meet you,
Smart.
lads. Nice to meet you, fellas, listeners. What's good?
Eman,
That's it. Eman.
I respect it. We're only going with the one this week. You already know what time it is. There's two dems in the building. If you don't know, get to know. You already know what time it is.
Skirt.
Okay. That's new. Cool, isn't it? Cool.
I'm just gonna drop random ad libs in the podcast. Don't ask me why or how.
that, that really threw Emmanuel off. Yo, listen. All right, cool. So it's not a topic we had, yeah, but obviously me and Collins was talking and we said, you know, just to improve the podcast, we need to start dropping in stories or anecdotes that we've had from our life. And I wanted to share something today with you, man, that I thought I can laugh at it now. It's nearly 10 years removed, but at the time I weren't laughing. So I guess just bear with me because it's kind of a long story, but anyway, I digress. So I'm chilling and out of the blue, I get a call from an unknown number. I'm like, oh, who's this? Who could this be? I pick up, and the person's like, hey, yo, fam, next time I see you, I'm gonna poke you. I said, I was so confused when that happened. So I was like, just my brain was rattled. I was like, who could this be? Like, do I have anyone that doesn't like me? What's going on? Is there a situation that I should be aware of? Anyway, he keeps rambling on the phone, and then I'm like picking up stuff that he's actually not talking about me, if that makes sense. As in, he's got beef with someone, but it ain't me. So I'm starting to put two and two together. If you've grown up with us, you know there's someone that has a similar name to me, all but for one
I'm
syllable.
crying.
So, so he's just like, next time I see you, you know what? We're not even like that. We don't live that life. You know, we're good for the most part. We're good boys. So I was baffled. I said to him, so I said, bro, I'm gonna stop you there. Like, I don't think it's me that you're after. Because I know where you man stay. You're always at Lakeside, X, Y, and Z. I said, okay, that is true, but it's not me you're looking for. Anyway, he comes to realize it's not me. And then he puts me on under more stress and he says, tell that person that I'm looking for them.
Bro, you become the messenger.
I'm sweating because he's like, yo, fam, if you haven't told him, I'm gonna know you haven't told him. I'm telling
gonna poke you by association.
And even
That's crazy.
I'm not trying to come off like a pussy because I'm trying to be like, because that person's still my friend at the end of the day. So I'm like,
yeah, of course.
I'm just like, chill. The situation doesn't need to go that way. Whatever beef you man have. Anyway, I'm telling his guys don't believe me, and they're more or less laughing it off. It wasn't until I got to tell the person himself, he was like, all right, cool. I know what the situation is. I know who you're talking about. I'll sort it out. And I said, yeah, you better sort it out and drop my name out of it because I want no parts. Anyway, after that happens, my mind is like racing because I'm thinking, how have they got my number? Like, someone's given them my number, and they were looking for my man. But yeah, that was a crazy situation to be stuck in.
Close encounters, is that what the
all because of a syllable, you know?
One syllable, and they would have put you in a spliff.
Bam!
I'll
never forget that day.
That's crazy. I've had something similar, not to that degree where someone's got the name wrong, but I remember, there's a close encounter. So I think 9, 10 times, obviously our area was a bit hot for some reason. and certain people from certain areas would come over to do certain activities. And I remember, so obviously, me and Toby, our families were close before we even moved to Chafford. So he was the first friend I made when I moved here. So I was sleeping over his house. Because Fridays we have the early finish.
School used to finish early.
Yeah.
And I had my Xbox. He didn't have an Xbox at the time. So I have an Xbox, a PSP, and a couple games. So we went to my yard, grabbed the bag, put all my games in there, all of my consoles in the bag, and we're walking towards the school. As we're walking towards the school, Michael pulls up because he was at his house. You know how our houses are situated. Michael pulls up early before we get to like near the bus stop, and he's like, "Yo, guys, you don't want to go down there." And we're like, "What? Why?" And like, a certain gang is down this road. Like, you know who I'm talking about anyway. But them man are all lined up outside the school, just waiting for people to come. So we're just like, "Wow, what are we supposed to do?" So there's a primary school bit. So we went into the primary school and we just chilled there for like an hour.
Whoa.
Because we're like, if we go down there, one of our stuff's going to get grabbed.
Oh, definitely.
So we just chilled there for a bit and we're like, we can't even stay here for that much longer. There's no real other way around towards his yard. So eventually Emmanuel Stevens pulled up, and then it was Emmanuel and Michael. So then eventually at that point, it was like, okay, we've got strength in numbers now. So we walked past the people and found there was like 20 people just like standing there, like waiting to just wrap people up. These times I have a rucksack full of all my games, my PlayStation, everything's inside, and I'm just thinking, fuck, like I thought I was gonna get robbed.
What did you man say when you saw them?
I can't remember the conversation, but they knew Emmanuel, so it wasn't that deep after that. At that point, but yeah,
it's the way Michael's going. You man do not want to go down there. Bro. I can't believe Chafford was hot for a bit. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it was.
Close encounters,
boy. Close
for real. They'll wake you up. You think life is sweet, and then all of a sudden these men are trying to ruin your day.
It's crazy, man.
It is what it is. But so I guess that's a little something for you people. So first topic for today is the inauguration, which seems to have been taken over by Bernie Sanders. I don't even remember anything else going on. My man sat down and that was it. He's become memeified for the rest of his life. You can't escape it.
Did you guys watch it?
Nah, there's nothing to watch. I think it's a silly thing.
Eman, did you?
No. By the time I got to my house, to my place, I couldn't be bothered.
I just think it's so American.
But it's a funny thing, like what's happening at the moment in terms of the inauguration, how Biden actually came in from where he was actually staying, a different plane, not the Air Force One. How currently at the moment still militarized in the capital. So I mean, there's just bare stuff, right, that I'm just seeing that I can't really put into words right now. But everything's just funny to me. No, because yesterday, right? I don't want to go into this topic because I think this topic will be safe for next week. Yeah, but somebody told me about like a conspiracy theory, right? And it's mad. I can't explain it right now, but all I can say is that it's all mad. That everything that's going on in the United States right now is a total joke, right? And everything that we've led to believe about the United States right now is absolutely a joke. So I'm going to leave it at that, and that's what I'm going to say. But in terms of the inauguration, congratulations to Biden, congratulations to Kamala Harris. That's what you've done.
Yeah, you done that.
That's all I can say at the moment. I can't say too much.
Eman, did you see that nephew wore Air Jordan duos?
I don't think that's a nephew. That's nephew-in-law.
Ah, okay.
Nephew. Yeah, nephew-in-law. She doesn't have any kids. Sad, but
I would say what?
Mothers. She doesn't have any kids. She has like nieces and whatever, but yeah. Nah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Biden's daughter wear a pair of ones as well, Jordan ones. So
so everyone just said we're gonna drip today.
I think so. I think
Too
so.
hard.
Yeah, man.
They should have had Gunna and Lil Baby performing by the sound of things.
They should have had 2 Chainz performing, bro, because he performed at the rally.
that was gross. What did he perform again?
I'm different.
He said, "Yeah, I'm different," and it was like, come on, man. If you guys don't win, if they didn't win, he would have been vilified by now because it would have been like, "You actually joke," but they won, so at least he can stand on that.
He's still got to get these jokes, man. Little Pump's one was the worst though. Little Pump standing with Trump was hilarious.
Pimp. Is his name Little Pimp? I was hoping that Trump will make a last-minute appearance at the inauguration.
He didn't even go to the inauguration.
That would have been funny.
He's got to be one of the. I don't know if a president's ever done that.
Are they supposed to be at the?
Yeah, you're supposed to. It's viewed as that being a gracious.
Like a handover.
Because the Obamas went to his. I mean,
you don't have to. You don't have to go, do you?
No, you should go. You should go because that's.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go. You already transfer. The transfer in power has already happened, so it's like
Trump is but you should go. You know what I mean? You don't have to go. I don't have to go to someone's birthday party, but if they're my close friend, I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You don't have to do anything, but he should. He's the greatest Batman villain, the greatest Bond villain ever, man. Like, I can't believe you really watched this. We watched this unfold. My man said, "I'm not turning up. There's nothing you can do about it."
Crazy.
That's sickening.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
What do you guys?
I mean, there's a lot to expect within the first term they served in the United States. I am just looking at how Black people, specifically Black people, are treated in the United States with their first 4 terms, because that would tell you a lot about them as an individual. But congratulations to them, innit? Congratulations.
What was you going to say?
I was going to kind of expand on that point by Eman. What do you expect? What do you expect their presidency to look like? What do you think will be their, the things that they end up doing in comparison to Trump?
What Trump had done was lower taxes, and in many ways, I've looked into research on why lowering taxes is a lot more beneficial than increasing taxes, and how it stimulates the economy in a positive way. Plus, it keeps the rich in whatever country is. So, for example, in the United Kingdom, millionaires will still be in the United Kingdom right now because of the current administration being the Conservatives, whether you like them or not. But because that is, sorry, let me not talk about the UK. Let me just talk about the United States. So the fact that a lot more millionaires are still in the United States and they're still producing businesses, they're bringing more income into the actual country itself, then the taxes, they are more willing to actually pay more taxes. Whereas if you increase taxes, they're going to find tax incentives, loopholes, or they're going to go into other nations where they have better tax incentives, like Belize, Haiti. What else? There's the Cayman Islands as well, where you don't have to pay any income tax. So they're going to put their money into those places where no money is going to be coming in. Sorry, no tax receipts, income receipts are going to be coming in, and it's going to be a downfall of the nation. But if they're going to increase taxes, then we'll see how it benefits the nation in one way or shape or form. If you guys want to debate that,
we'd have to wait and see. I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's not. I think it's just we'll have to wait and see, and then come back and have this conversation again in 4 years, and see where they're at then. I don't know. You just hope for the best, man. At least my biggest thing is I hope that as a country they can heal and move forward, because I think it's very hard to pinpoint any good that Trump did. He didn't. I think everyone will be in agreement that he did more damage than he did more harm than any good. So, I think the next 4 years is going to be about trying to heal the nation and bring people back together, because at the moment it's a very divided country. So, we'll see. Where we're at in 4 years.
Oh yeah. Also
Obviously,
with the I just wanted to mention this. With China, the Chinese relationship with Chinese relationship with the United States is a bit techie at the moment, because what they've done is they want to bring production back into the United States, but it's not worked out in the way it's supposed to do. So the economy has slowed down. The world economy has slowed down because of that. Now, because Biden and his first son or brother had dealings with China, I mean, there's a negotiation that can benefit China more than ever. And even the fact that your mum, Demi, back in the day, she said that China will become like the world's first biggest economy in the world back in the day. And I didn't believe that. But now they're saying within the next 4 to 8 years, it's most likely going to happen. And with now Biden in place.
What, you think he's just only going to aid that further?
Yeah, he'll aid it further. So in terms of influence, culture, you'll see a lot more Chinese. In some ways, it's a good thing. In some ways, it's a bad thing. But
But I think they're gonna run with the China Joe narrative. But I think that's something that's been on the cards for a number of years anyway. So like, it's not something he can necessarily stop, if that makes sense. I'm not defending him, but I don't think any country should turn into something it's not. But I don't think it'd be his fault, if that makes sense.
What about your thoughts, Collins?
You know how I feel about America, man.
Put the country in rice.
I bring them up as far as, they're always going to be the topic of discussion, but I really just look at them on a they're on their own vibes thing. I don't really. The older I get, the less I relate to them. The only way I relate to them is via the media and through hip hop. To be honest, besides that, I feel more British or English more now in my life than I've ever felt American, if that makes sense. Because we grew up on those American vibes, and obviously their pop culture dictates the world. But I just kind of feel the divide the older I've got. So when I look at it, it's more always just like I take a very passive interest in whatever they.
Yeah, them man on absolute crud. It's just every time there's something on TV about them, it's more time it's not good.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like I said, like what Demi said, it'll be nice for them to heal and actually have like a president who gives them good vibes. Doesn't necessarily have to be a good administration. It doesn't affect my life at all. However, if they can come away from it with good, like just how a traditional president would go about business, then so be it.
Yeah, that country just needs some sense of normality, and I think Biden will bring that. Again, will it be a good administration? Time will tell, but they need some sense of normality very soon.
Yeah, for sure.
To be honest, I'm gonna miss Trump's tweets though.
He was firing.
Some of the tweets are just stupid, bruv. Like,
we won by a lot.
Nah, my favorite one is when ASAP Rocky came home.
Thank you, Mr. ASAP, or something like that. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Get home ASAP. Oh my god.
Get home ASAP.
Hey, yo, why did he? So is Kodak Black gonna come home then? Like he can.
Nah,
he's pardoned a lot of people.
He's got pardoned on one of his his conviction that got him into jail, but he has more convictions once he comes out of jail.
So what? He's still custody.
There's a very big likelihood he's going to end up going back to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
he pardoned Lil Wayne as well. Now why Lil Wayne was twerking up in that picture.
It's wild.
Yeah, you kind of have to, man. I mean,
yeah,
do what you got to do.
If you look at your cards, and they might have paid him $1 million as well. So it's like,
do what you got to do.
Yeah,
well, I understand it. Freedom is priceless.
The Kodak one is a bit annoying though, because as talented as he is, and he is talented, he does make good music. His convictions are wild, like genuinely wild.
I think that prison sentence could have been similar to what prison did for Gucci. Made them sit down and actually think, yo, this isn't what I want to be anymore. And because he's just Kodak is on his day. He's an elite rapper. Like
You'd
he's
think
really
so,
good.
but when he came out last time, you'd think, okay, this is the one now. And he got his act together, put out some good music, and then landed back in jail again.
But it wasn't long enough. I think really for someone to actually sit down, they need to sit down and think. And probably he probably needs the 3 years that they gave him to actually sit down and, you know, actually, I don't know, I don't want to say repent, but yeah, the word begins with an R. Reform, or is it I don't know. But
Reflect.
he needs some. Yeah, he needs that time. But we'll see. I thought he was gonna free up Tiger King, Exotic Joe.
My man got himself all done up just to stay seated in jail.
They sent him a limo. That's embarrassing.
Yikes.
But we'll see. Time will tell.
That's an actual dickhead thing. Like that's an actual dickhead thing because like nobody told you that you're coming out, and then you tell everybody, "Listen, prepare me because my guy is gonna let me out." Like, I don't know you. Sit down with your mullet, fam.
Listen, do you know what? Trump is hilarious. My first thing Biden had to do when he went into the White House was get rid of the Diet Coke button. I was crying.
Is that an actual thing?
That was a thing. You had to get rid of a button that Trump had that you would press for someone to bring him Diet Coke.
Wildin'.
Imagine being that person. Nah, not for Diet Coke.
Nah, that's a good button.
What would you have a button for, Demi?
That's a great question, you know.
A hose? Secretary of State bringing the hose.
Just keep them coming.
Man's stressed out.
Press that button. Bring me sweetie, and that's an executive order. Oh gosh. All right. What was the second topic?
Drake has delayed his highly anticipated album, Certified.
About highly.
Who would have seen it coming?
Who would have thought it? This was inevitable, in my opinion. Yeah, we said on here he should delay it anyway. So I think the right decision has been made. The good excuse of this because he wants to do his rehab and all of that. So yeah, I'm asking for him to wait till the summer. There's no need. You don't need a Drake album now. We're not outside. He can hold it.
I think there's a bunch of there's a basketball term. Is it called fake pumping? Or where like you go out for a shot but you don't. I think a bunch of artists are just doing that right now. And they just play musical chairs to see who drops first. I think Drake's involved, I think Kendrick's involved, and I think Adele's involved. And I don't think anybody wants to get in the way of Adele. That's what I think is going on. I think everyone's shook of Adele.
Even Cole's in there. He's definitely teasing that he wants to drop music as well.
Okay, but he's dropping it in 28th. So
what? J. Cole has a date?
Yeah. I don't think so. Not that
he said he's dropping something on the 28th.
Oh. Maybe he's gonna drop a single. I mean, I'd like some music from him, but I guess back on the Drake thing, I think it was a smart decision. I mean, if they are trying to dodge Adele, then that's never a good game to play because you'll end up in the crossfire anyway. And aren't most of them all at the same building anyway in Universal?
I don't think is Adele Universal. I don't think so. I don't think Adele's Universal. But either way, it's I do think you are correct. It's better for you to wait until everyone's outside. Let's see if COVID passes until the summer. Probably not. But at least you can still make some money off the summer vibes. You're not going to make any money right now. He's good at making the winter music, but if you're not going to be able to try it or tour it, what's the point? So
agreed.
You know,
I think it was the right decision from him and his camp. I think just no one's really clamoring for the album as well. So I think he needs to go back in the lab and build some more anticipation for it. You know, Laugh Now, Cry Later was a good single, but I don't think it wasn't that blockbuster single that, you know, we've become used to him going into his albums with. You know, it wasn't a God's Plan, or it wasn't a what's the one with Wiz One Dance? You know, that big smash hit that's inescapable. I don't think Laugh Now Cry Later was that. So for him, I think it's good to go back to the lab, get some ideas flowing, and just go from there. Really, I think he'll know when it's best for it to come out. I didn't think it was now. January was an odd release date to me anyway, and with the current situation in the world, his music is designed for people to be outside and enjoy. So yeah, this was a no-brainer to me.
I think Laugh Now Cry Later would have done better if we were outside, but it didn't have it wasn't going to be able to do what it done with COVID.
Yeah.
It's possible to be honest with you. You can even tell by the music that people are putting out. Like nobody. When's the last time you heard a song that you could really hear outside? Like really hear outside. It's the climate is not designed for it at all. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
But then again, even if people go out, like even if we're allowed outside, do you think people would want to be outside? Because everybody has been in, like everyone's life has changed within this past 11, 12 months. See what I'm saying? So now we've had to stay at home. We had to do everything at home. We've had to just chill at home. The people who've gone out to Dubai, these islands or whatever, I mean, they've had their fun, but they're going to come back home and then do nothing except work at home, be with the family at home. And then all of a sudden, everything's open. You're going to have like one wild week. And that's it.
Nah, people will go out. People will go
definitely.
out. I think people have had enough.
Yeah, I'd say more people are ready to just be allowed back out than want to stay in. It's been a long time, especially this third one has probably been the hardest of the 3 lockdowns. There is no end in sight. Like when people can go out, I think they will definitely go out, which we've seen with most of them. So I don't think that should be a concern for any artist that when we're allowed out that there will be an issue. Do you know what? If anything, if I'm Adele, I'd drop when people are inside because her music kind of benefits that. Like she doesn't really make music to go outside to. So this could be, she does dumb numbers. So even more so, I think it would be smart for her to, I think she'd be smart to drop now. And then, certain people just need to hang on to the music that they've got.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be a case where she's probably going to be the first blockbuster dropper, I think. But didn't you find it funny how he put out like the press release? Man was talking like he's LeBron James coming off of an ACL injury, bro. Man said he got the
rehab and come on, rehabilitation. I was like, come on, dog. It's not happening. You needed an excuse, and that's a fine one. Fair enough. But yeah, he was talking. He was talking like he was going to miss the playoffs or something.
Sonny so minded. He's not a basketball player, man.
He wants to be a basketball player so badly. He's even got his own league, but I guess that's what you would do if you had a NBA full style in your house.
Man said, "We created this. You see all of this out here?
I need some chips in my dip.
This wouldn't exist without us."
He's not.
I remember that video. It's just like, why?
What are you talking about?
See, it was a 6, but now it's a 9 now.
Toronto is nowhere to be found.
You know what video makes me sick? Like literally physically makes me sick. You know where KD injured himself and he's getting limped off.
And he's on the bench like
can't believe it. He's just like
why is he like that? I guess to be fair, I think KD's actually his bro, so maybe he's upset.
It's his boy, but they're playing the Raptors. You know you want them to win. So why are you moving like this, bruv?
You know what the thing about it is he kind of looks like, damn, oh man, shucks. I'm upset. I am really upset. He was low key happy about that injury.
Of course. Come on.
KD at the Warriors as well. Come on, that's a W.
KD cooking now.
Oh, for sure.
He's cooking now. I'm seeing.
I can't believe it. The Nets actually might win. Might get a ring.
I don't know how it's gonna work though. I feel like
who's
gonna pass? That's the real question. Who's gonna pass when Harden and KD have the ball? Like who are you gonna give it to in the closing moments? Probably KD in it, but
Mm.
You know what them man
And you know what the worst thing is? No one's even talking about what's his name,
Kyrie.
Kyrie. No one's talking about him.
Yeah, because he spends most of his life injured.
Yeah,
No,
when
he's
he
at
plays,
BK. He came to BK, and then all of a sudden, your name's not mentioned within the Great Three. Can you imagine you're in the Great Three and your name's not mentioned? Harden and KD.
And
That's it.
KD,
if they keep them
I don't
fit,
know.
they might have a chance, you know.
Definitely.
They might not
I
experience.
think in their conference, they've got to be one of the best teams.
The East,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know about the East nowadays. The
I
East
know
ain't got many.
they are. Listen, I would not want to play in the West. Forget it, because it's both LA teams, and there's some good talent in the West.
OKC as well.
Mm.
When they won
It's
it
a
anyway.
scary
Golden
hours,
State
man.
Warriors. Crazy. Anyway, what is the next topic? The next topic is
Next on the docket.
Wandavision. Have you guys watched it?
Oh, there's so much to discuss.
What is the episode? Have you watched episode 3?
Yeah,
I watched it yesterday. Have you?
No, I haven't seen
Yeah.
episode 3. I've seen 1 and 2, not 3.
Okay. All right. Let's talk without any spoilers then.
Wandavision?
Spoil it. I don't mind.
Okay.
Actually, it's for the listeners. Just keep it.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
I have to say it 2
Demi,
times
you
so
want
they
to take
get
the
the
reins?
idea. It's episodes 1 and 2. I enjoyed. Marvel are trying to ting at the moment. I think I enjoyed episodes 1 and 2. Not to say that I've grew up or watched all of those sitcoms from the 60s, which WandaVision seems to be based on. And I get how the black and white thing could be a bit jarring. But I enjoyed episodes 1 and 2. But I have to say, episode 3 was some of the worst Marvel content I've ever seen.
Really?
Particularly when it was really silly in the first 15 minutes. The second half of the episode is pretty interesting, and it's kind of intriguing. And that Monica Rambeau becomes quite an interesting character, the black lady with the afro. But oh man, it was not a good episode, that latest one. And people are enjoying it, but it's a no for me, dog. I did not like it. I thought it was really silly in places, and Marvel's trying something with this. It's based in a sitcom sort of thing, which I think will work sometimes, and sometimes it won't. And this was just one of the times it didn't work for me.
Interesting. I thought the opposite. I didn't like 1 and 2. I was just
I know you said.
I was jarred watching 1 and 2. I'll be honest with you. I can see what they're trying to do, and I'm gonna follow it because I feel like it's gonna be one of those crescendo things where it starts with we don't know what's going on. It's gonna end with a mad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm sticking through it, and I think with episode 3, like you said, the first 15 minutes was a bit like, ugh, like I don't even care for those type of sitcoms either myself. So I was just kind of going along with it. But the last 10 minutes for me, I'm not gonna lie, I said, yeah, them man, yeah. Because I read a couple of like theories online, and I think there's a mad thing going on. There's an
100%.
mad thing
I can't wait. Do you know?
So you guys know who the black lady is?
Yeah, I've read
she's Monica Rambeau.
I read what people think, who they think she is. I mean, I read a few theories. I don't know which one's right, which one's not. But I like the fact that these episodes are creating the conversation. You know, that's what you want to happen.
Which is important. Yeah, I agree.
But well acted. I feel like I've not seen this type of range from Paul and from Elizabeth. Like they're actually getting into their acting bag, and they can act. And I like the concept of jumping through periods of time. Eventually, we'll get to the 2000s, the 2010 sitcoms, which is a really good idea, very creative. I've never seen Marvel get in this bag before. But I can easily see, like when you saying that you didn't enjoy it, I can easily see why people would walk away from it being a bit like, because when I watched the first episode, I was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
A lot of people had a similar reaction to it that you did as well. But again, no, I can't. I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I think I'm in the minority with that, which I get. I think it was something we hadn't seen before, and it's quite jarring in the sense of it's from a time that we weren't alive for, not even close to alive for. It was in black and white, so there was a lot of adjusting, even mentally, we had to do to be able to take it in. But I like the risk that Marvel were taking with WandaVision. It's just that third episode. It was just, when you see it, you'll know what I mean. It was just, especially that first 15 minutes, they were just chatting was, and they were up to just pure stupidity. Until like it actually gets into motion and it leans into the creepiness and the weirdness, when Homegirl actually says, I know who killed your brother, and Wanda flips, and that's where it's
Hey,
interesting.
she put her in
She got her the fuck out of there.
Well, out the simulation.
For real. Sent it to the real world. Sent it packing. But yeah, it was good. That part of it was good, and that's where I think my interest will start to peak when we start to really unravel what's going on in this. It's just a shame. I think Marvel should have just dropped it all at once. I don't think this works as a week-on-week episodic.
I disagree, man. If you drop that all, if you drop that all at once, then there's no mystique, there's no intrigue, there's nothing.
Yeah, but for a show like this, that's what I'm saying. That's the exact reason I think it should have been dropped all at once, because it gives you a chance. Things that I'm not liking now, I might actually, had I just been able to watch it in one sitting, regardless, this will happen, but I think it would have made the viewing experience better, because I would have been able to have just enjoyed it all at once. And the parts that I might not have liked, and they might end up making more sense down the line, I would have been able to already see them. So my opinion on it would be less harsh, especially, let's say, something in episode 3 that I didn't enjoy in episode 7 has a huge payoff. I would have seen that earlier, and now I wouldn't be as disgruntled, because I would have just seen it all at once and I would have seen it. But now I've got to wait several weeks for that payoff. I just think it would have handed itself to a bingeable watch. Whereas I think, not to compare it to it, but The Mandalorian dropping week on week works, because it's not all that connected, and it's one episode isn't necessarily, you're not looking for clues in that one episode. So I don't know. I think they missed a trick not making this bingeable.
Yeah, I disagree. I do, but because when you look at the Mandalorian, after episode 3, you said this is garbage, and that could easily put you in a state where you don't even want to watch the rest of it. Do you get?
I didn't, to be fair.
Exactly. So the fact that they went and you watched the more episodes, you're like, okay, that episode is insignificant to the whole grand scheme of things. And I think the one thing we got to do, I guess, with Marvel is we have to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt as far as letting them cook, because we are used to just getting stuff straight away from them. We're used to just watching a movie and it's done. We're used to watching their Netflix TV shows all at once and it's done. Whereas now they're trying a thing, and they're creating this amount of mystique and intrigue for a reason, I think. And I think if they put out all at once, there's no mystique, there's no intrigue, there's no conversation. I've seen bare conversation on this online, and if anything, that's made it more interesting for me personally.
I hear that. And you know what? No matter what, Marvel will have the benefit of the doubt from me. I mean, yeah, they've given us too much great content, and even their content that isn't necessarily great is still better than a lot of content. It's still better than the content their competitors are putting out. So yeah, they'll always get past me. And I'm gonna finish this. Definitely, I'm intrigued enough to want to see how this ends. So,
do you guys think, this is a question to both of you, since you watched episode 2, Eman, you can still ask this. Do you think Wanda is creating this whatever she's in, this simulation that she's in, or do you think somebody else has created it for her? What do you think at this point?
I think there's a bit of both. I think she's created it, but it's being monitored and watched by whoever this sword organization is that seems to be interested in it. I think she's created this world or this reality, and they're just trying to monitor it at the moment. I think they want something from her. She's definitely probably between her and Captain Marvel are probably the most powerful Avengers. So I think she's definitely capable of creating this universe.
Eman, what do you think?
What stone was she hit with? What stone was she hit with?
Mind?
Was it? I guess, was she from the Tesseract?
No. She's from the spear. And is that the Mind Stone?
That is the Mind Stone.
Yeah, Mind Stone.
Yeah, then I think it's her. Because right now, Vision isn't well, first of all, is malfunctioning basically. That's the best way I can put it. He's malfunctioning.
Yeah, Thanos said shut down.
And then I think she's, when you're in a dream and it's a perfect dream, it's gonna be one or two things you're gonna clock on where it's just like, this is not real. So I think everything that's going on is in her mind. But for some reason, I think she's also connected to Vision, and that's how someone from the outside is able to monitor.
Hi, Viz.
When they said that in the cinema, we were oh man, no,
excuse
forget.
me.
Viz, that's gross. But yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think it's definitely her perfect reality. I think people are assuming this is taking place more or less right after
Endgame.
Infinity War.
Oh, Infinity War.
Well, they're saying she spiraled into madness after, having to kill Vision twice, or watch him die twice. I don't know. We'll see. But that's something I've seen, that it's after Infinity War. Would make more sense if it is after Endgame, though. Now coming to think of it, because she does get dusted away.
It's been 5 years. Yeah. So she has to come back and then see Vision still there. So she's seen him die once. She had to kill him, then be resurrected, then see a man kill him off, then dusted for another 5 years whilst grieving, come back after the 5 years to see that nothing's been done. Yeah, she's mentally distraught.
Yeah,
she's gone.
Yeah, Wanda's going through it.
Because even if you put everything into perspective, she's living a perfect sort of life. She's getting married to someone. Well, she's getting married to Vision, and then now, I think from the second episode, I don't know what's happening in the third episode, but from the second episode, she's having a baby, and then now she's able to turn everything into color. So we'll see what happens, man.
We shall indeed.
Not for nothing, right. Elizabeth Olsen, she's doing her thing.
Excuse me.
She's doing her thing.
I need that.
The best Olsen. That's all I got to say.
The best. Don't do that, man. I grew up with Mary Kate and Ashley.
Nah, she put them two on a spliff. She's the best one out the lot.
For real, dog. Yeah,
is she the youngest or the oldest? Like, what is she?
I'm gonna say she's the youngest, isn't she, Demi?
She is the youngest, yeah. Nah, she's sweet. You can tell that came from me. No middleman here.
Straight from the south.
What was you gonna say?
I say, speaking of sweet, next topic is Lori Harvey. So I want to know what you guys' opinion is on her escapades, or just the whole situation in general.
How old is Lori Harvey, and how old is Michael B. Jordan?
She is 23 or 4.
Say word.
And I know Michael B. Jordan's in his 30s because he was in The Wire. Not late 30s, maybe like mid 30s. Michael B. Jordan. I know.
Yeah, that's calm. That's calm.
That's calm.
Yeah, they can go out. She's enjoying, man. Let her do her thing.
He's 33, so yeah, it's not bad. Not the worst thing.
No, let her do her thing. I have no complaints. She's just living her best life, and that's what you should do at our age. Or if you want to, feel free to date and go out and enjoy yourself. And then when you find the one and you're ready to settle down, do so. but she's living her best life. She's enjoying herself, which is nice to see. And it's also nice to see a girl be allowed to roam about and, you know, do as she please without having the stigma of, oh, look how many partners she's had. She's, you know, there's so many words under the sun that, you know, often used to describe someone who does that. But the man then will get a pass. So I think she's a very interesting character. I've never heard her voice. So she can do what she wants. I've never heard her voice, and I've never seen Zoe Saldana in actual skin.
You're dumb.
The lady's always blue or green.
I think the reason why it causes so much, I guess, hysteria is because she's had so many high-profile relationships. But I guess the reason why the women, I'm not going to speak for all women, obviously, but what I'm gathering is that there's happiness because she is dealing with situations in silence. You don't know when these situations end with her. It just you just pop up, oh, she's got a new man. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think women are taking like pride in that because there's no real need to be that messy if you have, you know, the ability to attract that level of man. So I think that's something that's beginning to take, I guess, effect on women. But as far as her, yeah, as you said, Demi, I agree with you. Just let her do what she wants. She's a striker, fam. She's out here like Jamie Vardy in 15-16. Just
are you saying that women are learning?
I wouldn't even say learning. I just think because at the end of the day, you know,
I think the narrative has changed, which is good.
Women gonna do whatever they want, and you know, let them. But also, I just think it's not every day scream down the yard. Sometimes just get a new man and you know, keep it moving. I think that's probably one of the main things I've seen from it. Obviously, I don't know in detail, but that's something I've gathered, I suppose.
I totally agree. I think it's nice to see the narrative changing. It shows, I guess, how we're developing. I don't want to say developing the society, but you know, for years it's been okay for a man to have this many, you know, partners, especially people who are in the limelight. You know, you look at Future, and he's more or less celebrated for it. Whereas, you know, there's never been a female that's been the equivalent, and she is more or less that. And I think people are enjoying the fact that she's moving in silence. Will G's moving in silence like lasagna?
Lasagna, fam.
Bolognese.
Lasagna.
For real. That's what I'm gonna start calling her. She's sweet. She's doing what she wants. It is great to see. Round of applause for.
I mean, she made it through dating Future without having a baby. If anything deserves a round of applause, it's that. Because that man has like 18
these men like
Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stones.
You know what's even mad? China was doing the thing with Tiger. Then 1 week later, she was in the video of Future. Then she got a tattoo on her hand.
That whole situation was
like,
gross.
oh my boo. And then the week later, Future said, "No, we're not together."
He's
a G.
Future's a bully, you know. I'm telling you.
He's just funny. He's living his best life as well, isn't he? Well,
I just don't know how they keep falling for it. It's the same trick. They just it's his game hasn't changed.
Not at all.
Not at all. Probably got over 8 kids at this point.
My man's creating a whole new dynasty like Genghis Khan, bro. Just
he's trying to make an 8-a-side. Man's gonna end up at goals with his kids. Oh gosh, he's one of a kind. But no, props to Lori Harvey. And I think really, really impressed with how people. Not impressed. We're just doing what's right. Like we're not any.
It is what it is, man. It's the 21st century. Just let these harlots harlot. You know what I'm saying? We let the dogs dog. The dogs
Shouts to the women who have not been harlots, who have kept themselves well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shouts to you.
And
Young
shouts out to the
harlots.
young harlots. You know what I'm saying?
Hoes. You whoremongers.
Whore.
You must trying to get us shut down.
Yeah. No. There are some women out here who pride in being whores. So, you know.
Let them do their thing, innit?
Let them be whores.
Streets have to get
That's-
fed. You get me?
That's a fact.
I mean, I ain't in the streets no more, but I'm just saying from looking outside the window, streets have to get fed.
From looking outside the window, listen, people are gonna get grossly fed when this is over. I'm hoping, man.
I'm just gonna be
Free the
looking.
man,
I'm gonna be looking with my tea, just like Them boys.
HMP COVID, man. Free my guys.
HMP Covid. I'm finished.
All right. So, final topic is Chip and Bugsy. No, what am I saying? Well, congratulations to them, man, for reuniting. But Chip and Stormzy. So Chip recently released his track 10 Commandments. Where are we at with this now? Stormzy has to apply, surely.
It was a good diss. I enjoyed this one more.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he just showed off more of his lyrical ability. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't really say anything new or groundbreaking, but I like the fact that he is keeping his foot on Stormzy's neck, because at the end of the day, like this is grime. This is the culture. If you want to be a part of it, you gotta be able to spit. And obviously, the last episode we had, I was a bit critical of Chip because of the timing of it, and I stand by that. But I do think Stormzy has to reply. For sure. He
doesn't have to say anything, man. He doesn't have to say anything.
Nah, he should reply, man. He should reply.
It's just,
if he's really a king, he doesn't have to deal with a peasant. Really and truly.
Whoa.
Chip isn't a peasant.
No way.
No, listen. If that is his mentality, if that is his mentality, yeah, then he feels that he doesn't necessarily have to deal with the peasant. I'm not saying that Chip is a peasant. I'm just saying that this is his mentality, innit? Cool. Now,
I don't know.
At the end of the day, I feel like what Wiley said was very important. He said that we need to know what side of the fence you're on. Yeah. Because if you don't reply, you're going to end up like Dizzy, right? You're going to make music, it's going to chart, you're going to make money. Certain people are going to like you, but your own demographic, they're just going to be like, scheme. Yeah.
Okay. Then, I've never thought about that, actually.
If you do reply, you kind of win both ways.
Well, if he replies and loses, is that still, are we still like...
He ends up like Youngman.
That's all right. Niggas lose every day.
So, okay.
No. People lose, but we don't lose every day, mate. We've got to keep the W's.
That's a W.
You bugging?
Okay, my stance on it is, at this point, Chip has damn near made an EP worth of disses towards Homeboy. Which, with varying degrees of success. I would say most of them have been not great, but 10 Commandments really stood out to me. I think is a strong diss to which Stormzy does now have to apply. I agree with Wiley's sentiment. It was all well and good when, you and your team had something patterned for him. But now you're staying quiet on Chip. I think, that's the mindset I'm in. I think he can't have, had all that ammunition for Wiley, and now he's, being on the fence and playing queer with Chip. It's not going to run. I don't think, and again, what Eman said was very true. You're going to lose the respect from people who are in this, who are fans of this. I will look at him a bit differently, at least, what, one thing about Drake is when he's got a relevant partner, he always puts his name in the hat, and he'll go at him. He lost the push, but he did the Duppy freestyle, so he gave it a go. Stormzy doesn't even put his name in the hat with this one. Mm-hmm. He has to apply. I think it's not when Drake didn't respond to Joe Budden talking to the wall, that was different because Drake replying to Joe. It's there's no viable sense in that. Also, Joe's got a great pen, so he'll cook him. But that aside, this is a battle he has to respond to. You can't have had all that energy for Wiley and not go at shit.
Yeah, I'm not here for your. Of course, I like Stormzy, but I'm not here for your what's the word? Your subliminals. You know what I'm saying? There was a
I can't stand
subliminal on
them
that
as
track.
well.
There was a subliminal on that Gets track, and I think Chip did address it. But I'm not here for that. You got to go at him. You got nothing to lose. So
what was the subliminal? I didn't catch it.
I like a real life encounter. Something about being a shouter on the phone, and I think Chip responded not in the diss, but he tweeted like, if anybody was shouting on the phone, it was you. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, that was definitely a subliminal. But yeah, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. You gotta go for it. Maybe he's waiting for Chip's project to come out so that it's not being used as clout. I don't know, but regardless of that, at some point he should respond.
Yeah, and now there needs to be a time frame, because if not, I'm gonna say you lost, and I'm looking at you sideways from now on. Because you thought if there was he's recently released an album, so he's not gonna coincide a diss with an album. So he's got to do something. He's got to say something, and he knows outlets like ourselves, are looking for him to reply. This is grime. It's built off of the clash culture is massive in grime. Some of our biggest moments. You look at Skep versus Devilman. Or you look at all of the Lord of the Mics. Clashing is a big part of the genre, and if you want to be on top of this, you can't shy away from them.
And that's exactly what Wiley's saying. He's saying, what side of the fence are you on? You can't say you're the king. You're the king of what? If you're the king of pop, fair enough. But if you're saying that you're grime, you're this and that, and you're not really here for it, then we already know who you are. You're just an agent. So
we'll see, man.
Yeah, we will.
It's time to claim the crown, dog.
That's a fact. Heavy is ahead, isn't it? It's looking pretty light at the moment. I'm gonna tell him that for free.
See what happens.
Yeah, for real.
We'll see.
I
think that's
all. Yeah, no, good episode, boys. Episode 71, Made In Chafford podcast.
HMP COVID, free the guys.
For real, man. Free the boys. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Again, episode 71.
Yes,
Peace.
Sir.